Hey Louise. Hi, how are we doing? Hey Ruth. Eugene. Good to see you here. Talking today a bit about clarity and purpose. I'm not sure whether things are feeling very clear for you or if you're connected to a sense of purpose in your life. Good morning, Christina. Alicia. Everything's so unclear and jumbled in my head. Yeah, I can relate. It's so hard to know. One big, knotted mess. I really love when you begin to pull on a thread in your mind and you can see that it's all caught up on stuff and you have to then follow it through and work through all the knots and Christina, I completely agree. It's very dependent on your individual. Your knotted experience in your head is yours and yours alone, and you can work through it and unpick it in that way. I think there's a lovely space we can hold to do such a thing. I really enjoy doing that. Asking questions, holding space for you to see the knot that it is and being honest about it. Hi Yvonne, good to see you as well. Dewey, hi from Indonesia. Yeah. I think it's really important that we are acknowledging each other as individuals and not blanketing each other as if we're the same in any way. I think the individual nuance is very important. I think it becomes a bit of a problem when we blanket statement or categorize people into boxes and in some ways justify our beliefs about them or judgments about them, and kind of reinforces that fear, right? Can't have a state where I'm neither at the bottom nor at the top of my emotions. Hey Lauren, yeah, of course you can. Yeah. Okay. So you can get out of that state, you just haven't been able to yet. I think if you keep saying that you can't get out of it, you're kind of reinforcing, telling yourself that you can't, The truth is that it's possible, absolutely possible. So what do you mean by neither at the bottom nor at the top of my emotions? Maybe you're not supposed to be at the bottom or the top of your emotions. Maybe you're just supposed to be with them. Just allow them. Self-reflection will help me to understand how people see me too, because how you think you are might not be what others see. Yeah. Fantastic. Yes, it's exactly that, isn't it? If you can open yourself up to considering the perspective of others and how they might be then seeing you from the place that they're at, it's incredible when you can do that. That's to me what empathy and compassion is all about. You are taking yourself out of yourself and just for a moment considering the thoughts and views and perspectives of others. I think that's a really important thing for us to be doing. Because if we are stuck in our own minds, our own heads, our own bodies, and we're suffering, we're struggling for whatever reason, maybe we're disconnected from purpose and meaning in our life, maybe considering the perspectives of others, especially if it's another person that's doing what you judge as really well in their life, seeing them being successful, whatever else, perhaps gaining an insight into how they view the world will help you. Not the one way's right or wrong. My perspective is that we're all exactly where we're supposed to be. It's all perfect, exactly as it is, but maybe there's always something more we can learn, If you want to experience something that you don't currently experience, asking someone or being in conversation with someone that's experiencing it is a pretty good way to learn something new, right? Yeah, I think this is an important conversation to be having. To understand What helps you gain clarity? What helps to connect you with a sense of purpose, a meaning in your life? What's fulfilling for you to be doing in your life? Because I think if we're really honest with ourselves, it's not so easy, is it? We're not always fulfilled or connected to a sense of purpose. And I think it's in that honesty you can begin to see why not, what's going on, what's really going on. Hey Samuel, there's no rules. The only rules there are the ones that we make for ourselves, I suppose. Yeah, it's tips on how to be curious in life. To me, I do my best to let go of the thinking that I know. If I ever think that I know what something is or how something is, I do my best to go back and question it. Like I'm looking at a Bic pen right here. And we're like, oh yeah, look, it's a Bic pen. I know what that is. I know how that writes. I know how that feels. But what is the plastic made out of? Why is the end cap? Obviously it's a different colour, but is it different plastic? Does that mean it's derived from the same crude oil as the rest of the pen is? Like, what's the fractional distillation process for it? Like, there's so much that we don't know. And even when we think that we do, there's so much more that we don't. And I think the point I'm getting to is that when I'm giving this thing a label, it's a Bic pen, it's a ballpoint pen, it's a branded thing. In my mind, I'm closing myself up to being curious about it. But why doesn't the ink fall to the bottom, for example? Just like a part of my curiosity then asked that question. Like, well, why doesn't the ink just flow down? Like, it flows that way. It always seems to come out the ballpoint end. But like, my point here is that by not knowing, you can begin to ask questions. And it's in the asking of the questions and that you can learn more. But when you think that you know, you don't ask the question. You're not open. You're not curious. That's your ballpoint pen. What to do if I wasted the last 3-4 years and spent them isolated direction in some field and passive? The first thing I'd say is you haven't wasted anything. It's not possible to waste. Waste is a judgment. Because maybe that's what you wanted to do. Maybe that's how you wanted to spend your life. If you're really honest with yourself, maybe you wanted to do that. Now it's like, okay, I don't really want to be isolated, directionless and unfulfilled and passive anymore. I want it to be otherwise. I want it to be different. So then it's about asking yourself, what is the experience you want to have? Being curious as to why that was your experience for the last 3 to 4 years. What has occurred for you? What's been going on? What thoughts have you been having? What emotions have been there, left, maybe unexpressed? Or like Gisbert. Yeah, Captain Kev, who am I? Good question. I don't have the answer to that. That's a question for self-exploration, you know? I can love being there with you in that conversation about it, but it's one that only you can explore for yourself. Yeah. I'm going to go deep life every time I see a ballpoint pen. Yeah. May this be a source of a trigger for the depth. Who knows? Yeah. Hey Bars, how do you make yourself believe that you don't know? It's not making yourself do anything. It's surrendering and letting go. Because when we hold on to knowing, it's like a really tight grip that closes everything off. To me, it's not making yourself don't know. It's like letting go of knowing. Like, you look at a tree, a plant, a snake plant here. How does it know how to grow in the way that it's growing? Like the white strip in the middle of each leaf. Like, there's so many questions. I'm overwhelmed by it. And I think that's a really beautiful thing to be overwhelmed by. Not knowing. Hey Timothy, trying to find my life and purpose, but I hate my life. Yeah, it's very difficult to find a sense of purpose when you are currently in the experience of hatred, especially towards yourself. When you can allow yourself to feel how you're feeling, to see where the hatred is coming from and why. Because there is always a reason for it. Like, if you're feeling this right now, you're like, oh, I hate my life. There is a genuine reason for it, and there's nothing wrong with you. You're not broken. But when you allow yourself to be curious about what that reason even is in the first place, that's the thing that's going to allow you to begin to love your life once again. But if you keep ignoring and you keep thinking to yourself, there's something wrong with me, I need to medicate, I need to go counselling or therapy or whatever else you think you have to do in order to heal yourself, like, it makes it worse and worse and worse and worse. And you continue down that path of, don't get me wrong, in those conversations you might have, you'll begin to see how you can see the situation, love and accept yourself, and that's the important conversation to be having, you know. Hey Ash, I'm based in Western Superman. You could attend a session with me here in person, or it could be online. I've been considering closing myself off from online entirely, but it doesn't feel right just yet. If you'd like to have a conversation in person somewhere else, well then let's talk. Let's have a conversation about that. So I'm sure it can be arranged. Anything's possible, right? Hey River, do you have motivation for me being so different and feels... Yeah, River. I was speaking about this with my partner Alex last night, especially when it came to like feeling isolated, different from the world, feeling like you're not understood. Perhaps you can relate because you've received a diagnosis, perhaps autistic, or perhaps there's ADHD, or whatever it is that has been there in your experience. It can feel quite overwhelming because it often seems like people just don't get it. They don't understand. Why am I struggling with this thing when everyone else seems to be alright? Everyone else seems to have everything held together, and yeah. I see a common theme, a common pattern in our experiences. We often go from struggling to isolating, to struggling even more in the isolation, to then seeking out community and support, and then it gets better. Yeah. I channel the depth when I'm writing my journal. Yeah, Mary, fantastic. The journal is a beautiful thing to explore all these questions. Is this AI? No, not as far as I'm aware anyway. Maybe we're all AI at this point, who knows? Why is it blurry? Oh, cheeky, allow the emotions to be there. It's all good. You believe in religions and think they give people purpose. Yeah, maybe they do help us to connect to a sense of purpose, fulfillment, community. They can be wonderful things. I've had a few conversations recently with some really lovely friends and previous clients and continued clients, and they've really helped me to see how I'm not owning it. And by it, I mean me and the things that I really think and how I feel and what I want to say. Because I've been really afraid of how I may be perceived by others and then judged for it. But that's resulted in me like holding myself back. And for the people that have connected with me and their lives have really been benefited by me saying the things that I've said and wanted to say, I see that I'm actually doing myself and others a disservice from actually saying the things I want to say. And actually, the things that could be quite triggering to hear is a pretty valuable thing to be triggered for, because maybe your perspective on things isn't working in your best interests, especially if you are finding it triggering. So, yeah, I just thought I'd just say that first before we continue any more, because I may say some stuff that's going to be some... Maybe you've been following me for a while, maybe not, but yeah. Hey, G, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. For some reason, G, as soon as you came up, I thought about food prep. So I don't know whether that association's been drawn in my mind. That's a wonderful thing. Yeah, I think I had the image of G preparing all of our meals. Yeah. Hey, what's my purpose in life? So for me, my experience in creating a sense of purpose for myself has been choosing to be love, to be loving, to be kind, to be considerate, to be compassionate, to extend love in every given moment as best I can. And in my experience, when I've done that, I find happiness, I find freedom, and all these other words we spit around, but maybe feeling currently right now disconnected from. Yeah. Hey, Ruby. some people I bet are just hiding it. Definitely. Yeah. Hey, Kelsey, good to see you. Yeah, it's easy to judge, isn't it, right? Fake smile, hiding genuine pain. Oh my goodness. You're seeing some genuine pain inside me. Do you see it within me because it's present within you? I don't believe it's possible to see what is in others unless we've either had an experience of it or have an experience presently with it for ourselves. I think it's been a roller coaster. Stop preparing food for a while. Really like that. Fantastic. Got to enjoy the ride, right? The ups and the downs, the good and the bad, exactly as it is. Yeah. It may sound strange, but I've been enjoying seeking out challenges in my life, things that I find uncomfortable, and saying yes to it. For example, my neighbour yesterday, while I was working on my car in the heat, changing the rear suspension, rear shock absorbers on it, the neighbour said, "Oh, you're clearly good at working on cars. Do you mind having a look at mine?" And normally I'll be like, "I don't want to do that, especially not in this heat." I thought, there's a reason why this is presenting itself to me. And I said yes. And then this morning I ended up repairing his rear bumper. And it's strange how, since saying yes to that and getting that done this morning, things have just been like falling into place. I've managed to find the right size container for 2-stroke oil to measure it into my paramotor, and went and did a food shop, grabbed all the groceries. It was cheaper than I was expecting. Riding around on my little moped, really lovely weather for it. Like, fans working, the water's lovely and cool. Partner Alex made me a matcha this morning. Like, all this stuff just has unfolded for me, and it's been really beautiful. And I don't think it would have happened had I been saying no and been closed off and been restricted. So what I'm sharing this, the reason why I'm sharing this is because when I close myself off and I think the world needs to be a certain way, I begin to struggle. I begin to suffer. And it's really interesting to just see that so clearly. Like, I know this is very nuanced, my experience. Like, yesterday I was working on my paramotor and I was rebuilding the carburetor on it. And I needed a certain tool to check it after doing the work on it. I didn't have this tool, so I sent a message into the group and I asked, "Hey, look, does anyone have this tool?" 2 people phoned me saying, I don't have the tool, but I know someone that does. So I phoned this person. And the reason why I'm blown away by it is because this person I haven't spoken to for a year and a half is currently going through chemotherapy. And I know the universe has put me in touch with this person specifically for a reason. And when I'm creating myself as being like the presence of love, it's not by accident that then I'm connecting to the people that really need that. And it sounds so big-headed and egoic, doesn't it? But I'm not seeing it from that perspective. I'm not trying to get anything out of this other than my own enjoyment and experience of life. And when I'm choosing to be loving, I experience that love for myself first. I am the one that's receiving that gift before I'm then able to give it. And it's such a beautiful way to live life. And I'm really looking forward later this afternoon to going and collecting this tool from this person. And to just listen. To be with him and his experience of life. Because I'm going to learn something. I used to be in a place where I'd be really upset and frustrated, angry even. Like, oh, cancer, what an awful thing. God, I feel so sorry for him and this other stuff. Why is the world so awful? But then I would just suffer. I'd struggle. I'd struggle to then go and collect the tool and have a conversation because it will be so triggering for me. But now I'm genuinely looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the beauty and the experience of that conversation. And I think I know what I'm sharing is very like specific to my experience right now, but it speaks to what could be possible for you right now. Like, where are you kind of closing yourself down and suffering? And it's okay. We do it for a reason, and it's in seeing that reason and being honest about it that things can change for you. I want to speak about some triggering stuff now. This has been on my mind for a little while. I spoke about this in a few lives before, about how I see there being an issue, a systematic problem where there's lots of medication being prescribed, especially for mental health, and it doesn't sit well with me. Because on the other side of this, I'm looking at people that are several years in, addicted to some medications, suffering the side effects of others, in many ways being taken advantage of. I know it's more prolific in the US, but even here in the UK, the system seems to be failing people, and it doesn't ever solve the problem. It doesn't get to the root cause. It's like, here you are, here's this thing that's just going to numb you. I'm not here for that. I mean, I think I'm here to say that I'm not a therapist. I want to make that very clear. 3 years ago, over 3 years ago now, 3.5 years ago, when I began this journey, this experience of wanting to love and support others, that was the first thing I considered. I'll just do it by therapy then. My honest experience was I had a session of EMDR, and then I had a catch-up several weeks afterwards to see how I was getting on. And in that catch-up, I received several judgments from that person, someone that's a professional, 20 plus years in the industry. Oh yeah, I could tell you're a vegan because you're so skinny. Huh. Interesting. Thank you for throwing your judgment straight upon me. What a lovely person you are. It's in those experiences and the conversations with others that have been let down by an industry which has actually motivated me to not be a therapist. And that's exactly why I'm here. If I'm being really honest with you, we're all equal. I love each other. I don't believe that the therapeutic industry, that system, actually solves the problem. I think it creates more suffering than is even required. And I'm here precisely because I'm taking a stand for what I believe to be right. I'm not here to just criticise. It's all too easy, isn't it, to be like, oh, here's all the problems, blah, blah, blah. No. I'm here to actually provide the solution and stand behind it. Yeah, I'm not a therapist, and I'm pretty damn proud of that. I've used the word coach. I see a lot of coaches doing the same thing, though. Creating more pain, more problems. Projecting their own insecurities. I think it's important that we don't do that. Because clarity only comes from being given that space where it's safe to be you. Where you're not afraid of being judged. I was terrified of going to a therapist when I was really struggling. Terrified that it would remove all possibility for me to be able to get a gun license at the time, for whatever reason. I was like, oh, if I tell them I'm having suicidal thoughts, are they going to put like a black marker against my name and ban me from ever having a gun license? So my own fear stopped me from seeking professional help in that way. And that's, again, part of the system. Are you really safe to be you? I think it lets a lot of people down. I think it's really easy to see how you can just become a number. Oh yeah, here's another client. Fantastic. And that strips away all the perfect nuance that is you. So why aren't we creating a system that treats each other as individuals? Why are we trying to blanket statement, categorize, diagnose, give you a label, and then medicate and whatever else, when all that's really needed is you to feel safe, to be yourself, to see once again that you're loved and supported as you always have been, but you've just been disconnected from it? What if it's all that simple? It's that simple when it comes to trauma. Why would it be any different for lesser experiences? I'm not here because of a textbook knowledge and my own studying and qualifications. To me, that's very much meaningless. Have you not gone through the experience of it yourself? In times in my life where I wasn't going to be here. And it's in that experience of that I get it. How is someone that's not gone through that going to truly provide the space, especially if they haven't dealt with their own judgments? I just have a complete trust in you. You're always going to make the right decisions for yourself. You're always doing your best. From my perspective, even looking back and being married at 21, divorced at 27, and all of life that happened in between and before and after, I was always making the right decision for me, because from that perspective at that time, that's what made the most sense. That's what felt right. That's what the informed decision was for me. Say when you know better, you do better. Right? When you understand maybe why you made that decision and what your perspective was, what your experience was that led you to even making that in the first place, then it all becomes clear. Some things aren't going your way if you're repeating those patterns and cycles that continue leading you down a path of a familiar experience, but one that's really uncomfortable. Maybe it's a certain relationship style you keep finding yourself in, or not being very valued at work. There's a reason for it. And I believe the most empowering thing for you to know is it all starts with you. We don't need to change the world around us to change our own experience of the world. To live a life that feels purposeful and clear, to remove all the noise. That's why they call it inner work. My perspective is that the world around you is showing you how you are inside. Not to create guilt or shame, but to help you. When we really begin to learn those lessons that are being shown to us in gentle ways first, and then more louder and less able to be ignored, the easier things get. I think life gets really quite wonderful when you're able to really be present with yourself and what's going on for you and how you're feeling. And strange, isn't it? All of this stuff is just words. How do we put into feeling, into the experience of it, what I'm conveying? I suppose that's why stories are so good, isn't it? You can relate in your own personal experience to the experience of another. Maybe even acting, for example, you can pretend what it's like to be someone that you aren't currently. And that shows you what could be possible for yourself. Yeah. Happy Bee. You are welcome to do whatever it is you want to do. Yeah, ask whatever questions you want. I'm live for a few reasons. One, to help you feel safe to be yourself. That's the most important for me. To reconnect you to back to being you. Remove all the stuff that's put on you, think you need to be other than how you are. To provide this space in a very busy online world where you can begin to feel calm, at peace once more, maybe. There's likely going to be some questioning of perspectives. I think it's a beautiful thing to have. I know for some of you, you've been here for a while, you've experienced listening to Tom for a while, and you've shared with me how it's changed your life. And I absolutely love that. Not for me, but for everyone else in your life that gets to experience you. Not forgetting you yourself, your own experience. Shifting path is really difficult. Survival patterns at once. Made you survive once is strong. Yeah, so we do what we have to do to get through. We learn what we need to learn, especially growing up, especially when we're young, especially when we're children. You always, Tom. There's a reason why I have this on my desk, right? It reminds me how that little boy there is still present within me. And everything that he's gone through, I'm carrying with me. So can I be honest with myself about the decisions I've made in my past? Whether it's the memory I've recalled of being in my old bedroom shared with my brother, feeling so cold, dark, alone, feeling like I've been abandoned. And in that moment deciding that it's all up to me. Because ever since that moment, a lot of my life has been from that place of it's all up to me. I refused to get help, refused to reach out when I needed it the most. Because that little boy decided it's all up to him. It's not now, don't worry. it sometimes rears its head, but I notice it straight away. Yeah. I'm having the most loving conversations with people because I'm willing to ask for help and support. It's no wonder I'm doing so much better because I'm loving that little boy even more. What does it feel like for a man to protect a woman after a breakup? There's always a reason for the decisions we make. The simplicity of it really is that reason one of genuine love? Is it one of fear? Is it one of a disconnection from love? Is someone going no contact because they're afraid? Are they going no contact because of how they feel within themselves? It's a very personal experience, isn't it? And what's more important, I think, is to understand what your experience is and what you're going through first. And then seeing the perspective of another can help you to be compassionate towards them, because often in every scenario where someone is doing something that causes pain to another, it's coming from a painful place within themselves. And when you can see the innocence behind that, you set yourself free and others free from your own judgments about it. Yeah, how do stop preventing yourself from comparing yourself to others. Yeah. When there's something that I think that I'm not doing well enough, maybe for me it's always been around money. I'm not earning enough money. Comparing myself to others makes me feel horrendous. I can then be really nasty. I'm like, oh, this person's, they're not as capable as I am, yet they're earning more money than me. What's going on there? And then so yeah, how do you prevent yourself from doing that? It's seeing the fear and the insecurity in the first place. And from that place, not taking action, not looking to compare, instead going within and noticing, oh, there it is, there's that thing around money again. I'm noticing Tom saying to himself again, that thought coming up again, I'm not earning enough money. Wonder where that's coming from. Wonder why I believe that's the truth. I'm getting curious about that. Because if you're trying to do something to prevent yourself, especially in the moment when you feel it up, like you're kind of giving more energy to it. Like, oh, I'm having a panic attack, I need to stop this, it makes it worse. It's just more of a, okay, just noticing, allow it. Okay. It is what it is. Yeah. Hi, Minna. Gee, my little me didn't realise how amazingly strong she was. Yeah. It's part of the disconnection, isn't it? We believe growing up that we need those loved ones to support us, to provide that space of safety. And so we do what we need to do. If it's with a parent or parents that are emotionally unregulated, we then become a people pleaser to help regulate them, so that we can ensure our own safety and survival, and then we carry that forward in our lives. It's just noticing now that we don't have to do that anymore. We can become that source of strength for ourselves. It's a beautiful thing. Hey Fozia. Listening because of my pronunciation. Fantastic. Stay for as long as you desire. Hey CV, how do you feel the empty void after you walked away from an unhealthy relationship? Yeah, fantastic question. Hey Luna. That empty void you perceive as being filled when you were in that relationship, right? When you're in that relationship in the beginning, that void was filled to some extent, right? It's like, I feel loved again. I feel that presence of love. I don't feel that empty void in my gut, my stomach, the core of me anymore. You see the presence of that person as being the source that fills that emptiness, right? And then when you notice throughout the relationship that, I'm not always feeling full. I'm starting to feel like a bit of the emptiness there now and again. Sometimes it's worse. It's in noticing that more and more that you realise that this person is actually pretty unhealthy for me. I think that that's someone that's capable of filling that void, but there's all this other stuff that I was overlooking because of my neediness to fill this own internal void, right? And then you get to a place where you're like, okay, I deserve better than this. This person is not for me. That's not what I deserve. Like, I deserve unconditional love. It's not this manipulative conditional rubbish. So you leave and take a stand for yourself. But suddenly, you notice that that void is there once again. How do you fill it? This is where we use words like confidence, self-love. What does this actually mean? What does this really look like? There's a lot we could talk about on this, and even then the words won't truly ever fill the void for you. The void is an absence of love. When you feel it and you carry it around with you, it's easy to see how things in the world outside of you look appealing, look very attractive. Wow, I'd love to have that partner. They would make me feel so loved. But even in your experience just now of that experience of, I was with a partner, and they maybe at the beginning filled it a little bit, but you overlooked all of the stuff. All the other disconnection from love. So now it's about how do you fill that void yourself without anything external to you? Because just spoiler alert, when you try and fill it externally with anything, it doesn't solve it. You may numb it, but it always has a cost associated with it. The happiness is an inside job. The filling of the void is an inside job. And CV, the honest answer is, we'd have to have a conversation. I'm here because I actually want to help you fill that void. I'm not here because of anything else. Because it's so easy, isn't it, to talk about all the problems, what went wrong, and how that person was awful, and they were a narcissist, or whatever else in your experience happened. That doesn't help fill the void, though, does it? Yeah. I'll give some examples about what has helped me. A few days ago, I woke up and I decided I would really like to ride my motorbike. I'm going to take my book with me. I ended up riding to Glastonbury Tor. And I sat on Glastonbury Tor for 2 hours just reading my book. Beautiful experience, watching the crows. My void was completely empty. A few days prior to that, I woke up, I was like, I really fancy going on a walk with my dogs. I was like, oh no, I can't do that. I've got so much work I need to do, so many emails to respond to, and all this other stuff. Felt awful. It was like I was listening to what it is that I really wanted to do, and I was saying no. And when I said no, that internal void, you don't feel very confident in yourself. And the backwards thing now is seeing this for myself, that when you do the things that you really want to do, you know, when you have like a gut feeling about something, I really would love to do this. And then the other noisy thoughts come up about like, you can't do that, you don't have enough money, that's not possible for you, blah, blah, blah. Then it just reconnects you to the experience of being unfulfilled, being disconnected from purpose, having that feeling unloved. The process is as simple as you listening to what it is that you desire to do and trusting yourself. And in the best way possible doing it. Not listening to the noise, not giving energy to the other stuff. Because in my example, if I'd gone out and walked my dogs on that hill, I would have come back feeling so much better that everything I would have done from that place would have been even more effective, more efficient, whatever words you want to use to it. Energetically, I would have been in a higher vibration, a higher state, whatever words we want to use for this, you know? So then it's all about prioritizing you. If you are considering yourself as a highly sensitive person, I think it becomes even more important that you prioritize yourself to do the things that you want to do, because it is all so easy to be trying to look out for the needs and the wants, the desires of others, putting yourself second. Say hi if you're real. Okay. Yeah, it's not the easiest of things. I get it. Especially if the conditioning has been so strong growing up of believing you need to be a certain way. and then wondering why that void's still there. I still do it. I'm still just as guilty. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a real beautiful experience. Do you know the hardest thing? The hardest thing for me has been noticing the things that I want to do and then consistently choosing to do it in spite of all of the other stuff, all the fears, the insecurity, the doubt. Because all of that stuff, if it's been there for a while, you've got a lot of proof as to why you need to be afraid and why that's even there in the first place. And like, it all makes logical sense. Oh yeah, I need to be afraid of not having enough money because here's my experience in the past where I didn't have enough money and it was awful. And it takes real courage to listen to yourself and connect to what it is that you truly desire, what it is you really want to be doing, and then taking action on it. Yeah, if we're so familiar with living a certain way, if the normal has been putting yourself second, trying to do anything different is difficult. Even just like on a neurological level, think about it in terms of the pathways in your brain. The pathway that is most trodden is the one of putting yourself last all the time. It's a Roman road of a path at this point. Very well experienced. Carriages go down it all the time, carrying all that energy out of you, giving it away for others. And now that pathway that looks like it leads to the beautiful woodland walk, with all of the nature, the birds singing, the peace, the serenity. It's quite overgrown. Maybe we have to push past a bit of overgrowth to even get there. Maybe there's some brambles. Yeah. Yeah, it's even, you're doing your best. I'm here for you should you ever need. Hey Jordan, doubt literally never shuts up inside my head. How do I shut out doubt? What if you can't? What if the doubt is always going to be there? What if it's part of being a human being? It's part of our conditioning, our own survival, our own safety. It's how we got here. Oh yeah, maybe I should look out for that. Flew my paramotor yesterday morning. And the doubt came up, as it always does. Oh, Tom, what happens if the wind's too strong? All this other stuff. I'm like, yeah, all those doubts, all those things, they're trying to keep me safe. I say they're fearful, but there's a piece that is, I call like the seed of innocence, like it's coming from a genuine loving place. And when I can see those doubts and see that seed of innocence, the truth behind it, the love in it, like the doubts just, they don't have to be as loud anymore. It's like, oh, yeah, okay, I hear you, understand. I need to be cautious. I need to not put myself in danger, whatever it is that may be there. But it's so often that we don't even listen to the doubts. Well, that's the wrong thing to say. We don't inquire and see that seed of innocence. We don't go within and see what the doubt, where it's coming from. We just get overwhelmed by it because the emotion comes up as well as the thought, maybe one before the other, who knows, it depends on your personal experience, I suppose. And then it just overrides it. We go on that autopilot. Oh, yeah, fear's running us again. Oh, you may relate to a mother or father that's always really anxious or nervous or stressing out about things, because that's just how they operate, right? not destined to live in a cage, to be imprisoned by our own thoughts and feelings, but many of us are. Because we don't know any differently. We're not taught any differently. It's just how life has been. It's just our experience. That's why I love these conversations so much. Because you can begin to see, oh, I don't need to be controlled by that anymore. Oh, it's such a beautiful experience. Yeah. Noticing when the fear arises and if you've been here for any period of time, maybe you follow me for the first time, it doesn't matter too much. I want to share a bit about my own kind of experience and process now, even as I say this, doing this as a job. This has been my full-time profession, if that's even the right word. Coaching, helping others, loving and supporting others. And I've had some stuff going on in my head the whole time about it because I've been so afraid. The things that I want to do are so intuitive. The right person's going to find me at the right time. They're going to pay me what is right for them. They're going to work with me for the amount of time they want to work with me and have the conversation for as long as they want to have it for. Why do I need to control this stuff? It's always going to work out. I can completely trust that it is always going to work out because it always has done. It always will. And to think that I know better and I need to be afraid and have a really vigorous system and structure and process in order to funnel people in to work with me like all the other coaches are doing, I'm fucking done with it. I'm honestly so done with that, Robin. And how would I be able to best serve others if I'm not even living from the place that I know within myself is the source of such peace, such trust and belief in myself? So I'm saying this because I'm owning my own shit. You look on my website, I've got there's a couple of pages, one like a program about working with me and stuff. And I made it thinking that, oh yeah, that'd be interesting. People would love to have that clarity, but I'm doing the same thing that the therapists are doing that I was judging before in the beginning of like putting you down a pathway, thinking that, oh, maybe I could work with more people and help more people that way. But it's like such a contradiction in my own experience. So I'm saying this because I'm letting it all go. I'm trusting that if you want to have a conversation with me, you will already know. And that's nothing to do with me. You will already know. And if you look on my website and you see there's a huge fee to work with me, you'll be like, oh, I can't afford to do that. Oh, I won't have a conversation with Tom. Even though you know that you want to have a conversation with me and that 30 minutes is free. It's crazy. But that's the truth of it, isn't it? So I'm saying this because I'm creating a business for myself where I'm letting go of all of that. I trust you. I trust the conversations that we will have. If it's right for you, it's right for you. If it's not right for you, you won't follow me, you won't even be here. And that's okay and that's perfect. I don't need to control anything. I feel so much better. I've had conversations recently with a few friends about this and I know what I do. In that 30 minutes, you'll find clarity in a way that you haven't found in, I'd say, with any other human being so far. I'm so confident with that. And that's not an egoic place. Because it's so good. It's precisely because there's no ego there that you find your own clarity. That's like the beauty in all of this, you know? Hard to heal others when you need also healing. Absolutely. Oh my goodness. If you're trying to have a conversation with someone and they are identifying a certain... Perhaps you're a carnivore, right? You're on an all-meat diet, and then here you are trying to help people that are vegans. And you're telling me your subconscious beliefs won't bubble up and throw up judgments and change how you're being, who you are being in those moments? It's bullshit. Let's just be honest. It's precisely because I don't have those judgments of others, especially on like the more extreme end of society. Like, I don't judge rapists and murderers in the same way that nearly everyone else I ever meet seems to. I'm not saying that I'm right. I'm not saying that you're wrong. That's definitely not what I'm saying. We all have our perspective. It's all there for a very valid reason. But in seeing the innocence in all things, you open up a depth to the conversation where you can really listen. You can be heard, you can be understood what it is that you're really going through, because you can talk about your thoughts without being afraid. I know from my experience that going through those thoughts about wanting to end my own life had been such a painful experience, but even yesterday, having a conversation with someone, and they said to me, Tom, you don't even need to say anything. I know you just get it. Yeah. Hey Viz, 30 minutes is free. I'm not going to charge you. I'm having conversations with someone right now because they reached out to me, and in that first conversation, I was overwhelmed by emotion. I have met very few people in my life where I was overcome by emotions in this way, right? And for this person, in their experience, they clearly were suffering, but they're such a beautiful, loving soul. And I said to them right there and then, for the next 5, 6, 8 weeks, I can't remember what number it was, we're having a conversation every week. I'm not charging you a penny for it. This means so much to me. That's just come from my intuition. I'm not here to make money. But I'll also end up making money. Some people will value it. Some people want to pay me. Some people won't be able to, but whatever happens, happens. And I just have to trust in what feels right for me. Some people are going to have a conversation with me. I'm like, oh, I'm not working with you. I'll have a conversation with this lovely person. I've got a lot of people I could refer you to, but that sometimes happens as well. It's like I'm seeing that I need to take myself out of the way, like get my own egoic thoughts out of the way, remove all that rubbish, all that noise, and it's in the removing of the noise that I feel free. You can get the clarity. You can see what's really going on for yourself. Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay. Exactly. I trust your intuition. And who am I to think that I know better? If I was to say to this person, for example, like, okay, yeah, this is how you work with me. You have to pay me all of this money up front, or else we won't work together. That may completely disconnect him from what's possible. All because of my own egoic, selfish thinking about I need to earn money, or whatever noise, fearful bullshit is going on there. And what if, actually, and I don't even know this to be true, I'm just playing with you for a moment here. What if by saying I'm going to work with you for however long I need to work with him, weeks, months, I don't care. And what if by the end of that, he's like, here you are, Tom. I've just come in receipt of all of this money. Massive lump sum. More than I'd ever even consider asking him for. Here's a house for you, Tom. It's not normal, is it? But do you know why it's not normal? Because none of us seem to live from our intuition. We hear stories about the few times we listen to our gut and it unfolds magically in ways we never could have expected, yet we choose to be living from the fear instead. Stevie, thank you for being here. So I'm precisely doing the thing that I see as being the most beneficial for all of us to be doing. Letting go, surrendering, not knowing, living from that intuition, trusting myself completely. Terrifying, right? I sometimes see the picture of letting go, not like a cliff, it's like you're just jumping off, but then the universe is going to catch you. It's trusting that even in the darkness, yeah. Hey Otis, you speak in riddles, how much does the session cost, fella? Otis, for you, we're going to say £50 an hour. How does that sound? Because I know that from you asking that question and being concerned in the first place, there's like a concern about the cost. But how will you even know the value of it if you haven't had the conversation yet? And again, it comes down to intuition. I'm trusting that I need to say to Otis right now, £50 an hour. That's purely trust. I don't care. You might think, but Tom, I'm currently working with you and you're charging me more than that. Like, my goodness. Yeah. What an experience this life is, hey? Why can't it be different? Why can't you get different values from different people? What if I'm going to get a lot of value from you? And actually, I want to pay you to work with me. And so then I'd be charging you less. Like it's just so easy to overthink it, isn't it? Why not just follow a gut, you know? Okay, I think communication is the key, absolutely. Start from honesty from the heart. Yeah, beautiful. Because we say like communication, but are you trying to be manipulative? Are you trying to get something out of this? Yeah. 18. Are you trying to be manipulative? You're going now, or listen to me. That feels very... Yeah. Is it, there's like a real trying. I find that when I really want to do something, it becomes very easy. It's all about removing all of the stuff that blocks me from getting there. Is that the trying for you? See, right now I want to have a conversation about this, really. I'm really interested. Simplifying, yeah. It's the beauty of it, isn't it? If you can make things simple, it makes it so much easier. Get that complex stuff. Apparently I've been inactive again, so I'll have to solve this puzzle. When am I coming to Indonesia again? Never been in Indonesia, so I'm not sure what you mean by again. Thailand, Cambodia, though. Yeah. Letting go of the dross / rubbish. I had an intuitive thought, right? And I don't even know why I use the word intuitive anymore, because it's just you have a gut feeling. It's just a thought, isn't it? If you notice where it's coming from, is it coming from your gut, from your heart, whatever place you notice within yourself? I'm not saying it's going to be right for everyone, but it helps us with our understanding as individuals. If you notice you're having a certain thought, you can notice where it's coming from and how it feels, and give your space to be aware of it. The more you practice it, but giving yourself that space, the clearer it becomes. Because it's so easy for you to have a thought and it be very quickly followed up by the fear, the insecurity, the doubt, like the real intense energy, because it's been that way for a long time, maybe. Yeah. But if you are, what we say, like, it's meditation, isn't it? It's practice being mindful. Even it's in conversation. You do the same thing here with me. You're being considerate towards yourself by even just listening and considering what's going on. The more you do that, the more you practice that mindfulness, whatever words you want to use for it, the better you'll get at it. The more space you give between the thoughts before the energy overwhelms you and you get taken down that pathway that is so familiar, down that Roman road rather than the overgrown, beautiful nature. There's nothing wrong with Roman roads, by the way. It's a work of art in itself. It serves a very functional purpose. Yeah. That's what those conversations are all about. Creating the space for that clarity and understanding of yourself. It's quite a rare thing to do. To really be listened to be seen, heard, and understood as the individual that you are. That's why the conversation at 30 minutes is completely free. So you can have an experience of it. Thank you, Kelsey. Thank you, Kate. Thank you for following. I've just realised there's likely a large fan noise you can hear in the background here. I don't know if that's been there the whole time. Yeah. Yeah, my full colour. I keep saying, but I'm going to do it right now. I'm actually going to do it right now. We're going to check what colour my wall is, just because you're maybe cautious, curious about it. It's Wix. I think it's green 803. We're double checking now. Ooh. We'll have a look. We are having a look. It's not a heritage one, it's like their standard own brand. Literally, the can is just in the garage. I don't know why I don't go and get it. It's probably so much easier sometimes. Well, nah, no luck. Interesting. Can barely hear the fan. Cool, yeah. Ooh. I suppose it's one of those. Trust yourself to pick the colour that you most desire for yourself. Maybe I'm not going to be able to find it because it's not supposed to be. Sea moss or palm tree, yeah, like pine needle or something. Yeah. I can't. Oh. Yes. You know when you're decorating, right? This is a sweeping generalization. I shouldn't even say it. I'm not going to say it because it's applicable for anyone. When you're doing anything, whether it's working on a motorbike or decorating a room, when you then envision what it is that you want to achieve, so the motorbike fully running or the room looking a certain way, when you're then going shopping or spending time working on a bike, if you keep in mind the vision of what it is you're creating, when you're in the shop looking for the right colour paint, the right things to go in the room, the decorations, you will instinctively know, because being guided by your own vision, kind of like a set and forget, but also remaining with a connection to it, it will just feel right. The colours, like, that's it. That's exactly it. And when you're working on the bike, it's like you will have a greater sense of calm and patience because you'll be so connected to what the desired result is that when something is becomes discovered that, oh, maybe a screw's rounded off, you're like, oh well, just another step. I'm still going to get towards the end result. And I think that's a powerful thing to have. Yeah, like that's what it means for me to be like really present. I've spoken a lot in the few lives. If you follow me from the few lives ago, it's been about living a life you love. Yeah. If you can connect to what it is that you desire, whether it's as simple as like painting a room a certain colour or having a certain feeling in a certain room, when you connect to that, you'll have gut feelings, intuition, whatever you want to call it, that will lead you in the direction of that in ways that you can't even logically plan to be as good as your intuition will guide you into. I feel like I'm barely scratching the surface of this stuff. Living life this way. My life, for the majority of it, has been that fearful. Yeah. So I'm from the UK, live in England, live in Weston-super-Mare, a wonderful seaside town. If you want to go check out, I don't know if you'll be able to search it on YouTube because it's probably going to be overwhelmed by Tom Cruise, but hold on, I'll have a look. I have a YouTube page where you can see where I live, but also where I fly. Oh, I wonder if I can actually share links in the chat. Interesting. Probably not. Let's try it. I can. Cool. Yeah, if you check out that, I've got a good few paramotor videos. I've got more to edit and upload, but yeah, wonderful experience. Never been to Weston-super-Mare. I had a lot of judgments about it. I thought it was the drug rehabilitation capital of the UK or something crazy, but absolutely love it here. It's so beautiful. Cheddar Gorge, literally a few minutes away. The Mendips, Glastonbury's nearby. The most incredible sunsets here as well. Hey Madeline, how are we doing? Yeah. Oh, nice. Kelsey, feel free to pop round sometime. You're next in. Ever in visiting your partner's uncle? I was going to say quite a niche thing to be to be visiting, but yeah. Get the kettle on, yep. Oh, you just use, well, maybe not in this heat, but I suppose even in this heat, it's a dumb thing, isn't it? Yeah. I'm looking at creating an experience in the future where moving to something like a cottage, a converted barn, a bit of land. Going to be creating a space where people can visit, can stay, can have the depth of conversations, and they can talk about what's really going on, what's been going on for you. I'm really looking forward to it. I'll allow myself to be guided more for that to happen, because the past couple of years have been a lot of fight, a lot of stress. I keep thinking that it needs to happen in a certain way. Well, in order for me to do that, to create that, I have to earn all the money to pay for it. What if I just follow my intuition and have the conversations and say the things I want to say, when I want to say it, how I want to say it, and that will just lead me to the situation and circumstances unfolding perfectly. Yeah. The more I've let go, the better life has got. The less I've been in A&E, actually. I got maybe Kelsey, you can remember. There's a time, like a year or so ago, maybe longer, a year and a half ago, where I was so stressed about all the stuff I felt like I had to do, work on my camper van, get my business to a certain place, earn a certain amount of money, have so many clients, blah, blah, blah. Oh my goodness, I was in A&E. I lost feeling in half my face 1 week, and then the next week I had really intense feeling in my chest. Had all the tests and stuff, came back, it's in my head, it's all stress. You've gone through that experience. I know the way out. Let's have a conversation. I can help you in 30 minutes. Yeah. Who are you? Hello, my name's Tom. But I'm so much more than my name. I am love. I'm the continued presence of love for you in all situations and circumstances. I am the clarity in a conversation that reconnects you to that source of unconditional love for yourself. I am the certainty that your life will never be the same again after just a conversation with me. There's a lot of things I could say about who I am, and all of it has been either a remembrance or a creation. When we talk about purpose here, your sense of purpose, your purpose in life is something that you create for yourself. And when you create it from a place that's understanding of who you are, your values, your dreams, your purpose becomes fulfilling. It's something you'll never truly achieve, a lifelong goal in pursuit. I'm never going to fulfill my purpose, and that's the beauty of it. I will always be a play in progress. Always choosing to have fun. Extending love in all the ways that I know how. Hey Edward, I have absolutely no idea what you're saying. No idea. Yoga. Ah, cool. No. I do love a bit of yoga. Yeah. Google it. No, I don't want to. I don't care. Oh man, it's just so good to say what you want to say, doesn't it? Spiritual awakening. Oh, okay. And yeah, sure, I'm spiritually awake. Spiritual to me means you are open to the consideration of you not being right. Simple as that. There's so many different pathways and labels and journeys and blah blah blah. All leads to the same place, all leads to right here, right now. Connected to yourself, to the love you have. It's always been there. You've just been disconnected from. It's all pretty damn simple. All these religions, it's all simple. I have no judgment over you, whether you follow one religion or another. I love you for who you are, not for who you follow or... We're all perfectly equal. There's nothing complicated about any of this. It's all really quite simple. It's not always easy though. I think the whole point is to live in that emotional state. Even I get mad. Oh yeah. That's the whole point. You don't suppress and guilt yourself for feeling the way that you feel. It's being okay with all emotions. It's perfect. Emotions are there. There always will be. Allowing yourself to be with them, to feel them, to process, That's what it's all about. The more we try to avoid the emotions, the worse things get. Wonder why there's psychiatric disorders with people. It's like we're so afraid of a certain feeling or thought that we go insane. The only way out is love. It's all very simple. But it sounds insane. Right, I understand from the perspective I had several years ago, like, who is this hippie nut job? And I was in the worst place I've ever been because I was suffering in myself and struggling and projecting all my judgments outwardly. Yeah. How to control ourselves to not talk rude when we're mad. Maybe you don't have to control anything. Maybe just noticing and being aware that you are talking rude when mad. And that you're feeling mad. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with you. What's the madness telling you? Is it anger? For me, anger comes up when I'm not taking a stand for myself. I'm not really listening to what it is that I'm thinking I should be doing or not doing. How the situation, I believe, should be different. It's all there for a reason. Are we listening to it? Are we understanding towards ourselves? Yeah. It's not so much control, but more allowance. More allowance and surrender. When I need to control things, I'm not allowing things to be as they are. And when I'm not allowing things to be as they are, I need to be right. I go back in my own head. It's like I'm back in that darkness. I think that I'm right and it has to be a certain way. Go back into being controlling. But the moment I do the opposite, the moment I'm like, there's no need for me to be right, I can rescind my perception, allow it to just be, and not put my thinking on it. It allows me to just bring all of it to the surface. What you resist persists. You know that. You've been living it the whole time. If you don't allow yourself to feel it, it'll persist. It doesn't get better. It gets worse. So it goes back to that allowing. And I understand. You've been listening to me like, Tom, you're just kind of using this language, but how do I actually do it? Have a conversation with me, because we'll do it together. I will show you firsthand. Something that's very difficult to just do on a TikTok live. That's why that 30 minutes is free. There for you. Yeah, let them feelings feel. What's the quote of the day? Okay, I'll give you a quote. Just for Balls, right? Balls, your happiness is dependent on your choice to extend love. Try it out. See how it sits. Yeah. Oh, this man is fine. Hey Mia, you work fast. Yeah, your happiness is dependent on your choice to extend love. And I'll go a step further and say that your freedom is dependent on you choosing to extend love under all conditions. No matter what's happening, are you choosing love? Then you're free. Doesn't matter about the money, the car, the stuff, the fame, the fortune. Are you choosing love? Hi, Mary. Whoa, Mia, slow down. Take it slowly, you know. Maybe one day, eh? Hey, Ree. Yeah, I'm doing very well, thank you. Yeah. Bisexual. Thank you for seeing my good heart. They say that our eyes are the windows to our soul. I think you've looked into some people's eyes before, and you've seen who they are. You've seen maybe their pain, their suffering, the darkness. Maybe you've taken a step back because of what you saw. It's okay. Some people are incredibly attractive because of what you see. And they're only attractive because of you seeing what's present within them. And I want you to know that what you see as being present in others, even the things you judge as good and bad, it's present within you. And if you can allow that, you can accept that, if you can choose to be the presence of the good, the loving, the beautiful, you'll become incredibly attractive. You can't help it. Yeah. Hey, Foxy Fox. Foxy Fox, sorry. Why is it next to me this then? How to deal with a memory once feels happy, now it's painful when it comes up. We'd have to talk about the specific memory and process it that way, is the honest answer. But what I want you to know is that for any memory that you are experiencing, the emotion that's tied with it has been your creation. You have been the one that has changed the emotion tied to that memory. I know, maybe a little bit confusing to consider that perspective, especially when maybe you have a really lovely memory when you're in a relationship with someone and then you go through a breakup and then that memory's tainted. But it's you that has changed the emotional connection to it. And it's important you see that. Because in seeing that, it opens up the possibility for that painful memory to no longer be as painful. If you want to go through that together, I'll have a conversation with you. We can talk through it. How to be calm like me. Your mum always gets triggered home. Yeah. It's very easy. I'm not a mum, but I can see how even having the conditions of being a mother, where there's this being that's so dependent on you, and you believe, rightly or wrongly, that they need to be the priority. They need to be the one that you place all your energy and effort into, to the point of being really tiring, frustrating, triggering. The issue I often see is that you're not prioritizing yourself. Maybe you're afraid of prioritizing yourself because you think that if you were to prioritize yourself, that your son, your daughter may suffer as a result. The truth actually is that as children, we all value quality time. We don't just want to be present. We want to be present with a parent who's also present with us. And when you're choosing to take time for yourself and prioritizing yourself, you're able to better be present. Without the fear or the frustration, the triggers. So it's essential you prioritize yourself, because it's in the best interests of everyone involved, especially you. To be calm, to me, is all about allowing all things to be as they are, allowing emotions to arise, to surrender. Surrender means a lot of things to me. Letting go of fear. In surrender is a connection to peace, which is in and of itself a calm place, because peace is always with you. Peace is always with you. It's always with you. You're just disconnected from it, but it's always with you. Like, it's always there. Yeah. Pick and choose who was cheated on. Yeah. I want you to know that if I say this and you feel more triggered by it, that's pretty much going to be normal. because I'm trying to challenge your perspective on things. So what I ask is that you listen from a place of just consideration to another possibility of another person's perspective, right? You've been cheated on. It is what it is. It was what it was. You can't go back and change it. That person made a decision. They take an action. It is what it is. It was what it was. The first part is accepting it. If you can't accept it, you can't move past it. It's always going to be there, and it's always going to have a strong emotion tied to it. It's like the refusal to accept it is the chain that ties the emotion to it. That being said, what have you made being cheated on mean about you? What are you now afraid of? Are you afraid it's going to happen again? Are you afraid that you're not worthy or deserving of someone that's going to love and support you? Are you afraid this is what's going to happen to you every time you're in a relationship? Because this is what's happened in the past now. What you are making that situation mean is the reason why the emotion's there. You are the creator of it. If this is triggering for you, let's have a conversation and let's get real about what it is that you are seeing here. Yeah. Start. Exactly. So there's a significant fear there. Fear of death. It is what it is. It was what it was. When we use the evidence of our experience to justify and validate the emotion, it kind of just strengthens the tie to it. No wonder it's traumatic. No wonder it becomes complex. Very paranoid of others who are still together. Yeah. Very complex. The source of your experience and those emotions in the past is still present with you. So it's very difficult. Because it's like a constant triggering of it, a constant recalling of it. It's like, yeah. Just as a consideration, perhaps if you had a parent that was abusive in the past and then go back to live with them for whatever reason, you're going to be back in that environment as if nothing's ever changed because it's a lot. But it's ultimately your choice what it is that you put up with. It's your choice to stay, to go, to voice your concerns. You will get what you accept. Do you mean the idea of returning to something until you hate it? I don't ever hate things. If I'm at a point where I'm saying I hate something, there is an investigation to be done. There is an investigation to be done because if I am hating, I am clearly making a very strong judgment about something for a reason. So then it's very important I go back and question, well, what's that reason? Why am I justifying and persisting with this judgment? Why am I persisting with this absence of love for this thing, calling it hate? But returning to something that is uncomfortable is very important. Yeah, so I'll say this. I saw a brief thing about a debate, and this is probably what I'm going to be doing after this, actually. If I don't have a conversation, I don't think I do. There's a debate about I think it's gender identity, and in this debate, the lady that was speaking, I don't know what the topic was saying some really quite like uncommon things that really resonated with me in an uncomfortable way. And I think that's like a growth edge, isn't it? When you lean into something that is uncomfortable for you. Because I get into that trap as well. I fall into that trap of believing things as being right because it's the social norm. Yeah. Pick and choose. He says he loves me, so I stay. Yeah, so I'm just hoping you can see this for yourself, that you are externalizing the source of love. You're saying that it's not possible for me to feel the way that I want to feel unless I'm with this person. And I know it can be incredibly confusing because, like, on the one hand, they provide you this connection to this love, which is so fantastic, but on the other hand, all of the other stuff comes up. The complex PTSD as you described. Like, that stuff's there for a reason. Do not ignore it. Because in many ways, your choice to stay because you see that external source as the only source of love will continue to invalidate and suppress all of the other emotions. And there's a real struggle there, you know. Do you have to teach yourself to hate just as like you teach yourself to love? It's no, it's more of a being honest about where you are actually judging and hating. Because to me, hating, it's like an intensity of the emotion, and you're feeling it whether you are aware of it or not. So it's more of an emotional awareness than it is a learning. I suppose awareness is a learning. Okay, it's just language, isn't it? But when you become aware of the emotional intensity based upon, like, if again I use that cliche example, someone cuts in front of me in a queue, I could feel really angry and frustrated, and maybe I hate that person because of what they've just done. So then it's about understanding, well, why? What's really going on there? Am I hating that person because I think that what they did is so wrong and it affects me so much that it's not okay, or whatever else I'm making it believe? But the thing that helps with the hate is just going back to that, well, okay, if I was in that position, doing what they just did, I'm basically saying I'm hating myself because it's not okay for me to do that. And here's the reasons why. Yeah, you understand, hopefully. He's inspired me to be a life coach. I spoke pretty about this at the beginning of the live. It didn't feel like a conscious choice. It was like a connection to wanting to love and serve others, not wanting to be a therapist because I didn't see how it actually ever got to the root cause of things. I see it as a system and a structure that doesn't help as well as it could do. So I'm walking my talk. I'm doing things in a way that I see as being the simplicity of it and the core of the love of it as well. So what inspired me was a connection to a gut feeling, essentially. A deep inner knowing. I'll be doing this for the rest of my life. Whatever, we can use the title life coach. I don't really care. Like, my name's Tom, but who is Tom? Like, so much more to than that. Hey, Kelsey. Went back to my ex, who wasn't nice multiple times, and I used to be annoyed at myself for it. But I needed it, so I accepted that I needed to do it to be me. Yeah, you know what you need. And when there's such an absence of love, the need for something is the key word there. It's like a neediness. I need this because there's such a strong disconnect within myself. What you'd really benefit from is a conversation with me, because we can help you to see how it's not actually in your best interest. Because I'm here to empower and support you. I'm not here to be on the side of others. I believe that what's in your best interest is in everyone else's best interests. Hopefully we can learn the lesson without the pain, you know? You're aspiring to be a singer. My life is meaningless. I don't know. When I see your title there of aspiring to be a singer, there feels like an intrinsic knowing of that's created a significant amount of meaning for you. The more often you are singing, working on your art, creating in that way, maybe even co-collaborating with others and singing that way, or just co-collaborating with musical instruments and the players of. I think that creates a significant meaning for you. Allow yourself to have fun, play, create, do things that you want to do for the sake of just trying it out. You can't get it wrong. You'll learn as you go. I think empaths are more prone to be depressed. Do you agree? User. I think if you are empathetic, it's very easy to be caught in the perspective of placing other people's needs above your own, because the reason why you're an empath in the first place is because at some point in the past you've needed to be that way in order to regulate a parent, a loved one, a carer. When you can see what it is that you've been doing and why, you can begin to put yourself first. Because you don't need to control other people. You don't need to control their emotions. You don't need to control their feelings. You don't need to control what they're going to say or what they're going to do. That's coercive and controlling and narcissistic, but anyway, you don't need to. But you only see that, and you believe it, when you see how you can regulate yourself. And by that I mean when you can allow your own emotions to be as they are. Because in the past, it's likely you weren't able to allow a parent or a caregiver's emotions to be that way because it would directly affect your survival. And so you did what you had to do because you had to do it to survive. And you're here. It worked. It is what it is. It was what it was. But now, it's not serving you. It's disconnecting you from I would say the self-control, the empowerment. You become dependent on the world around you for how you feel. I want to swear because no wonder you're fucking depressed. You become dependent on anything outside of yourself, you're living in fear. The moment you can just accept it is what it is, allow all things to be as they are, surrender all need to control, you return back to that loving place because you trust. You trust that the crops are going to grow, the sun's going to rise, the food's going to be abundant, the water's going to be clean. But when you don't allow and surrender and trust, well, it's a conflict, isn't it? You're fighting, trying to fight for peace. Yeah. Trying to fight to control. Do you know that's why a lot of global power leaders are in the position that they're in? Because they're desperate for that control. They won't be able to find peace inside themselves because they're trying to control the world around them in order to get there. I have compassion for them. It's so easy to put these people on pedestals, isn't it? Oh, this person's in a position of power or authority over me, blah, blah, blah. And think that they're greater than us in some regard, but I guarantee you they're a lot less peaceful than I am. And in seeing that, you know that you're rich. It doesn't matter about the money anymore, does it? Because I have my health. I have the most incredible relationships. If you know me, you know how that's the truth. I don't need to just say that. I'm not here to brag. I'm here to create that as being possible for you. I want to live in a world where we're not suffering, when we're loving and supporting each other, when we're not living in fear. And it all starts with you. That's why I'm here, to have these conversations with you. Not from royal blood, no. It's only royal if we believe it to be. It's all made up. Your blood is equally as royal. You are equally as unique, equally as perfect as the royalest of royals. Hey Jupiter, thank you for asking that. After this, I'm going to upload this. I'm going to create a new YouTube channel, and I'm going to commit to being consistent in uploading all these lives. I think I've been hiding some of these for too long, so here we are. Let's share this, share myself. If you want to have a conversation with me, it's free. Go check out my website. I'd love to be there with you. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for listening. Thank you for following. Hopefully you have a wonderful rest of your day. May you continue to find that peace that's always been there with you. It's your best to be present. It's right there. Do your best to be compassionate towards yourself. I know how critical you can be. That inner voice can be brutal sometimes. Doesn't matter about the bullies of the past, because the bully's in here, right? Yeah. Keep doing your best. I see you. I love you. We've got this. Say goodbye for now.